Welcome to Talk of the Town. We've got a great show for you today. We've got some fitness tips for kids, plus an interview with country star Rick Monroe, among others. But first, we're going to be talking about beer. And I'm joined now by Dan Calise, who is the owner, or the CEO, I should say, of Eddie's Alehouse and Eatery in Sun Prairie. Welcome to the program, Dan.
Well, thank you.
Good to have you here. So talk to us a little bit. When did you open?
We opened in August of 2008, kind of right in the middle of the Depression era. But
right. Yeah, and it's been going pretty well for you since
it has. It really has.
Awesome. And what, we were talking a little bit before the show started, and you have a very interesting building. It's an old building. Tell us, what is the most distinguishing feature about this building? How do people recognize it?
I would say the most distinguishing feature of the building is, as we were remodeling, we tore out a drop ceiling and found this beautiful hand-pressed tin ceiling, and it's really a wow factor for our building.
Really kind of increases that, not curb appeal, but once you get inside, it looks like something that is attractive for people to.
It does. It's a 12-foot high ceiling, so it's
very cool.
It's really pretty cool.
It's so hard to find those treasures in modern buildings. You know, you pull something away in an old building and you just never know what you're going to find. Sometimes it's something really cool like that.
Right. It really is.
Yeah. Very cool. So now, obviously. You're here because you believe that there's something that sets you apart from other pubs in the area. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that is?
I would say we have two really distinguishing features. One is we offer about 150 varieties of beers. They're all microbrews brewed here in the U.S. The other distinguishing feature that we have is we serve fresh, hand-pattied, everyday burgers, which is pretty popular as well.
So they're not like frozen discs that you pull out of the freezer and then stick on the grill?
No, it's always fresh.
Very good, very good, yeah. So you mentioned that you have over 150 selections of beer. I have to imagine that there's obviously way more than 150 selection of beers out there. I mean, that's a huge selection as it is, but I imagine that you get people all the time saying, hey, you gotta carry this, you gotta sell this. How do you decide what to carry in your store and what to pass on?
That's one of the hardest parts of the job, although it's some people probably think it's the best part of the job. A lot of people bring me samples.
Right.
So I do taste a lot of different beers. I don't drink them all, obviously, but I do taste a lot of different beers. My main philosophy is to try and have a lot of different styles of beer. You have ales and you have lagers and stouts.
Sure.
So we try to keep a good variety.
Good variety is important, yeah, because everybody has kind of their own taste. Some people like the hoppier taste, and some people not so much. So yeah. Yep. It's good to have that. Good to have that variety for sure. Well, now, so we talked a little bit about beer. Talk to us about some of the food that you offer there.
We serve what I call basic bar comfort food.
Sure.
We do the hand-pattied burgers, fries. We have a Friday fish fry, things like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And when we're talking about the craft beers and whatnot, is that something that you have seen a growth in, these sort of microbreweries and craft beers? Has that been growing over the past few years?
It really has. It's in the years since we've been open, for example, when we opened in 2008, there were about 63 microbreweries in the state of Wisconsin, and now there's over 100.
Wow.
So it has been great growth.
Why do you think that's growing? Why do you think that's a growing industry?
I think people are finding that beer, similar to wine, has a lot of different flavors, and they're just finally getting it and wanting to try it.
Yeah, they're just getting to the point where they realize that there's as many different diverse flavors in beer as there is wine, in other words.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dan Calise, from the CEO of Eddie's Alehouse and Eatery, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, my interview with country star Rick Monroe. It's Talk of the Town here on CW57.